Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about being a good person. I like to talk about this topic a lot because it's something that I've had to think about a lot. I don't really know, I'm not in everybody's head, right? I'm only in mine, but I don't really know if people out there are consciously thinking about being a good person. I think that a lot of people just assume that they're a good person. And they're like, well, I kind of loosely follow the 10 Commandments, even if they're not really Christian. I haven't killed anybody, so, I'm a good person. They can pat themselves on the back. I've had to sit and really ponder, what is a good person? I really didn't know. And I kind of thought at first when I started looking to what good people are, I thought that they're like, say Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. That's what I thought a good person was. Some weirdo, some nerd. Naive person. Somebody who hasn't lost their innocence yet. They haven't really seen much of life. I like the ideas of virtue put out by Carl Jung, put out by Jordan Peterson talks about this a lot, about the idea of the shadow. Of course, he's just talking about what Jung and Freud, people before him, psychiatrists before him have come up with. But, we have this light side and this dark side. The people that, and everybody has that. You may be more in touch with one side or the other, but everybody has that duality. And people that are in touch with their dark side, but keep it at bay, are virtuous. People that are not in touch with their dark side, don't even know that they have one, don't know it exists, and just live on that light side, they're not virtuous because they're not really resisting any kind of temptation. And Jordan Peterson talks about it in the way where, in order to be a good person, you have to be a monster. And you have to be able to resist acting monstrously. But you're a monster inside who can resist that temptation. And that's what being a good person is all about. Because if you don't have the temptation to act evil, and you don't resist it, it just doesn't come into your head, you're really not a good person, because you're not really making any choice. It's like we look at innocence as being good, and sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. Look at little kids. All little kids have a certain amount of innocence, but then we see some little kids who develop a love for lying. And you wonder where they came up with this. They just like telling fibs. They're still innocent. Sweet little kid. Just having fun with his imagination. It's the kid who knows what lies are. Knows why they're hurtful, why they're dangerous. Has the ability to lie, but chooses not to. That's true virtue, that's truly being a good person. Because the one who doesn't know anything about lies may discover it, realize that it's awfully fun, and go crazy with it. If you take one of these Ned Flanders type characters from The Simpsons and introduce them into a hedonistic lifestyle of sin, and take that motherfucker to Vegas, you go crazy. It's like that Catholic schoolgirl. And they were all, sheltered until they got to be teenagers and they turned into sluts. And that was like a thing back when I was younger. At a certain point, those Catholic schoolgirls are just going to explode because they're kept so sheltered. And they have to go out and not just experience the world, but dive off the deep end. And it's likewise with somebody who's not in touch with their inner monster. Because we all have that light and dark side, but if you're not in touch with it, if you don't understand it and open that door and go in there and see the darkness and understand how scary of a person that you can be, how dangerous of a person that you can be. If you don't go in and tame that side, it will overtake you. In those scenarios where danger presents itself, the person who's not in touch with their shadow, with their dark side, can lose it, man. This is how all comic book supervillains are created. They're all weaklings who lose it. This is how the school shooter is created. These little weaklings who just lose it. And they're not in touch with that dark side. They have no ability to really resist it. Let me try to illustrate it a little better, maybe if you're still confused. I'll tell you a story. I like to tell stories. This is a story about the choice of virtue, a choice of being a good person. So I used to have a colored past. Anybody who's watched my videos has heard me mention this kind of stuff. If this is the first video you've watched, I used to be from the streets. I had an extended criminal career, lasted more than 20 years, maybe about 20 years. I've reformed myself. I've done pretty well. I've gone legit. I'm a pretty good person, I like to think, and I separated myself from everything, gone sober, dropped all my friends, moved away from the West Coast to a small town, started many legit businesses, and you know, I'm just doing my thing. All this time has passed. It's been a while since I was that person. I've moved on. And I'm walking out to, I'm at Home Depot hardware store. I just got done shopping. I'm looking at my bag full of shit as I'm walking out, and I'm excited to buy because I like the hardware store. And I'm looking through my bag of goodies that I got, and I'm walking through the parking lot. It's a beautiful day. Going back to my truck. My truck's in the back of the parking lot. I always park in the back of the parking lot because there's always parking spaces, and I got a big giant truck, so it's just easier. Usually, the way I used to be, the old me, anytime I walk out of any building, the house, a store, anywhere, I'm scanning like a warrior, doing a threat assessment, looking at cars driving by, who's in that car, looking at people. Look, I get every living creature, every human in eyesight like that, and be able to tell what's going on, friend or foe. Cops or criminals, what the fuck is going on? Because you could get caught slipping. I can't tell you how many times people just get murdered. I've seen more than 20 murders, shit right in front of me. Motherfuckers just gone, just shot, just caught slipping. I'm looking in my bag, tunnel vision. I get about 3 feet to the tailgate, and I hear behind me a man's voice say, "You remember me, motherfucker?" That caught my attention, right? That would catch anybody's attention. I slowly turn around, and there's a white convertible BMW parked. I mean, it's not parked, but it's in the middle of the road, but we're in a parking lot, so it's in the middle of the aisle. There's this big black guy, shaved head, bald head, wearing a suit, with a gun, looked like a Glock. And he's got his finger on the trigger, and he's looking right down the barrel, right at me. Got a driver, another black guy, skinny guy. And we have this kind of paused moment. I'm a deer in the headlights. What the fuck do I do? This guy's got me. I've lived this whole life. I survived so much. And now some motherfucker way out of my area, I don't know nobody around here. I mean, I know people, but I don't have enemies. This isn't my turf. I've been legit ever since I've been to Florida. I never done nothing in Florida. Nobody's gunning for me here. And here this guy has got me. This is my day. I always thought I would have got murdered in some exciting shit. This is my day. I'm gonna die right here. I had a gun on me. Springfield XD 9mm, 17 shots in it. I keep that shit ready to rock and roll. It's got no safety. Keep it strong side hip in the holster under the. We have easy gun laws here. I got a concealed weapons permit, but I got my hand on my bag. This guy's got his finger on the trigger. I'm thinking in my head, can I possibly pull some kind of Hollywood movie shit and drop this bag and grab my pistol and fire off a shot? I gotta drop the bag, I gotta grab the pistol, and I gotta move all at once, one simultaneous thing. And hopefully, my hope was that the bag dropping would draw his eyes down. And in that brief second that his eyes go down, that's when I move and get my pistol out and fire a shot. Maybe I could drop down to the ground, do a roll. I'm going through this quickly. What do I do? You know, it's either that or I get killed. The fucking driver, the little skinny guy, says, that ain't him. The dude's looking down the fucking pistol, the guy in the suit. Bald head motherfucker, big guy, looked like Suge Knight. And he's like, are you sure? And the guy's like, yeah, I'm sure, that's not him. He gets in the car and they speed off. Now, as they drove by me, they drove right by me, my hand goes towards my pistol. I grabbed my pistol, but I didn't take it out of the holster. And I realized I could shoot them both in the head right now. I could at least hit the passenger. I could hit him right in the side of the head. I could kill him right here, right now. This fucking punk motherfucker, he thinks I'm just some chump white boy at the fucking Home Depot. He just ran into his worst fucking nightmare. I'm killing both these guys right here, right now. They're fucking dead. And I realized my pact. I promise God I'm not going to kill nobody. I'm going legit. No matter what happens, I'm not engaging in anything like this. I pulled back. I was just like, you know what? Let them go. I'm not the guy they're looking for. Maybe the guy they're looking for deserves it. How the fuck do I know? He might deserve it. Not everybody's innocent. Maybe they got a real good reason. And then I was just kind of annoyed that they didn't apologize. They could have been like, hey, sorry, buddy. But the only reason why I'm telling you this is because I didn't do it. That's being a good person, is having the ability to be a monster, but not acting monstrously. Pulling back from that edge and saying to yourself like I did, no, I'm going to be a good person. I have a pact with a higher power. I have a duty to my family. Tame that inner monster. That's the task. Thanks for watching.